Here in Champaign at Olympian Drive and County Road 1900 North. Lewis is facing weapons charges along with attempted murder. That's where we find WCIA3's Courtney Bunting right now. She is at the scene. Now, Courtney, he traveled quite a ways.
That's right, Jennifer. About 10 miles is how far he went till he ended up here where he crashed at Olympian and Boardwalk. Now, I talked to several neighbors who live in this area, and of course, by the time he ended up here, those shots were fired well away near Thomasboro, so they just heard squealing tires and saw police lights, but they were still concerned about what was going on, and now Lewis is facing serious charges. A night of patrolling for two Champaign County Sheriff's deputies quickly turned into something very dangerous. They were on Route 45 near Thomasboro.
They see this vehicle speeding on Route 45. They get in behind it to call in the license plate. Keep in mind their lights are not going right now at this point in time. An occupant of the vehicle fires approximately 4 rounds at the sheriff's car.
Luckily, no one was hit, but it didn't end there.
The vehicle is then pursued from Route 45 south to I-74, westbound on Interstate 74, northbound on Prospect Avenue, and ultimately the vehicle crashes at the intersection of Olympian and Boardwalk.
3 people started running after the crash. Deputies arrested 2 of them. One was Lawrence Lewis, who investigators say shot at deputies. Champaign County State's Attorney Julia Reitz says Lewis already had 2 pending gun cases.
Clearly he's a danger to the public, and he is a flight risk, given the fact that he continues to commit very serious offenses.
Along with the 2 arrests, investigators recovered 3 guns, including one with what police call a drum magazine.
This magazine, this extended drum, would allow you to hold 50 to 100 rounds in a pistol. That is not a defense amount of ammunition and stuff. That is an attack amount of ammunition.
In addition to those 2 gun cases that he's already dealing with, he also has charges and convictions dating all the way back to 2010. Those include gun-related charges, drug possession, as well as domestic battery. That's why Reitz says it's so important that he stays locked up. Reporting live, I'm Courtney Bunting, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Courtney, thank you so much. Now, the state's attorney's office asked for Lewis's bond to be $10 million. That's because they say he's a flight risk, but the judge kept it at $1 million. He's facing a maximum 90 years behind bars. A Decatur man is dead after a crash. It happened last night just west of Monticello on I-72. State police say the 42-year-old man went off the road and flipped. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. His name has not been released. And a follow-up, students in St. Joseph are mourning the loss of a classmate who died in a car crash. 17-year-old Nadira Edwards died yesterday. The sheriff's office says she stopped at a stop sign, then went through the intersection. A dump truck couldn't stop in time and hit her car. The 2 people in the truck weren't hurt. The principal says she was a senior at St. Joe Ogden High School and a talented artist.
She participated in drama, was a big contributor to our We the People Constitution team, and just an overall incredibly insightful, bright young lady.
The principal says they have social workers at school and they're doing everything they can to let students know they have support. That crash is still being investigated.
The state revealed who will get the first doses of the COVID vaccine. It'll go to hospital and healthcare workers in the 50 counties with the highest death rates per capita. That's when the vaccines arrive, likely later this month. In central Illinois, that includes Ford, Coles, and Shelby counties. There is some bad news, though, for counties in central Illinois. Champaign, Douglas, Piatt, and Vermilion counties are not among those scheduled to receive the first doses. To see which counties are on that list, we do have a link on our website, WCIA.com. Now, the state's 7-day positivity rate is over 12%. That is down as there are over 10,000 new cases diagnosed in the state in the last 24 hours. There are more than 770,000 infections diagnosed in Illinois since this pandemic began. Now, in central Illinois, ICU beds are filling up. They are becoming scarce. In fact, 88% are being used in Region 3, West Central Illinois. There were 20 beds available as of midnight. In Region 6, East Central Illinois, 76% of beds are being used with 39 available. 123 more people have died, including 23 from central Illinois. There have been nearly 13,000 COVID-related deaths since the pandemic started.
This is an update on unemployment problems. 9 months into the pandemic, and issues at the Illinois Department of Employment Security continue. Long wait times are still keeping people from their money, and fraudulent claims are being sent to people who are still employed. Wcia 3's Cole Hankey talked with two who have been dealing with this fraud for months.
IDES is still taking thousands of calls every week from the unemployed looking for their benefits. But as they send out those benefits, they are also sending out fraudulent claims to people who are still employed. And UIS Associate Professor Richard Funderburg says the problem is rampant.
1 in every 3 faculty in my department are victims. So this isn't just me. I'm the only one right now in my immediate circle that I know is a second-round victim.
But Funderburg also stands out from his colleagues. He didn't just receive a bogus claim once, he got hit twice.
They should have had a flag on my claimant ID saying that I was fraudulent, but they again determined me eligible.
House Republicans held yet another press conference today to demand the legislature be involved in fixing IDES. They say the fraudulent claims and long wait times for calls back are clear failures, but they have no idea how to fix it.
But I'm not going to assume that I know their problems without having a thorough hearing.
And the problem isn't just for employees. It's also a hassle for their employer. Kevin Epley is an HR director at Landmark Automotive in Springfield. He has had to deal with 7 different employees getting these fraudulent claims, one of them being himself.
Of course, I'm on both sides now. I'm not only a victim, but I'm also someone that has to deal with the circumstances.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The national unemployment rate dropped from 6.9% to 6.7% from October to November. In the past week, the state got nearly 75,000 new unemployment claims. Almost 300,000 people claimed unemployment benefits in the state.
Cancellations are happening for college basketball teams across the country. Which game's been called for the ILLINI?
And also tonight, the U of I has been criticized for not addressing issues related to Native American imagery. How the chancellor plans to change that.
Kevin, by December standards, pretty nice day.
Yeah.
Not bad.
50 degrees here as we wrap up, get ready to wrap up the first week of December. And yeah, felt pretty good, but it's going to get a little cooler for the weekend. So hopefully you got a chance to enjoy today. Officially, it was 49. Look where it could be. It could be -6 like it was in 1893. All right, not bad out there tonight. A quiet Friday night. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about some flurries that could be around into the weekend. So stay tuned.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
Okay, here's a look at the satellite and radar picture tonight. Quiet conditions there. Let's take a look at the temperatures that we've got out there tonight. We've got readings in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Pretty nice Friday night. Temperatures will head down to those 20s, though. For lows, get a little cool. We'll say 25 in Clinton, 26 in Monticello, 24 in Taylorville, 25 in Decatur on your Saturday morning to start off the weekend. Let's do some water towers. We take you to Mansfield, forecasting high of around 42. So it is going to be cooler. Again, we were near 50 today in several locations. So we're going to go, cut off 6-7 degrees to what we had today. Only 41 up in Donovan, and we'll say the high temperature in Arcola will be around 43 degrees, but still plenty of sunshine for you. Let's take a look at the rest of the weekend. So tomorrow's good. Sunday, though, we're talking about the chance for a few flurries around. And a high of 40. There's a weak system that may throw some. We're grasping at straws here to get any kind of precipitation, so we're going to mention it. So a few flurries Sunday, some cloud cover definitely around and into Sunday night. That's really the only good chance of precipitation we've got for quite some time, because we look at the old delivery forecast. You may be getting those packages delivered on the front porch there. No precipitation at all. We've got zeros all the way through next week. Let's look at temperatures here. As you can see, the red indicating above normal. And you can notice here in Illinois, we're right near normal. But look what happens here as we work our way towards next Wednesday. That red creeping closer to us, indicating the above average temperatures. And by next Wednesday, we're going to be 11 degrees above average for the high. So that's pretty nice there. The reason for the nice weather, high pressure in control here. It's not until next weekend when maybe a storm system approaches to finally give us a decent chance of some kind of precipitation. We'll keep you up to date on that. 26 tonight, partly cloudy, near normal tomorrow, a high of around 42 and slightly cooler than what we had out there today. As always, download our WCIA3 weather app to stay up to date with the very latest when you are on the go there. Just search WCIA3 weather. All right, here's a look at your 7-day forecast now, which is going to show those flurries for Sunday. It'll show the dry weather Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Toys for Tots, high of 53 degrees on Thursday. And even by next Friday, we're still looking pretty good.
Very good.
Very comfortable, very warm, and again, still nothing major. First 2 weeks of December may go in the books with nothing as far as precipitation goes.
All right, thank you.
The theater in Savoy closed its doors in the spring. Why movies may once again be seen on its big screens.
Plus this.
I would have been positive playing a football game.
How effective is the COVID saliva test? Why this Illini quarterback says it might have saved an outbreak.
Live from your local news leader, Jennifer Roscoe, Paul Cicchini, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast, with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 6.
The University of Illinois hasn't had the chief since it was retired in 2007. This morning, the chancellor released an implementation plan to address issues related to the symbol and move away from Native American imagery.
The plan is also designed to open the university's arms up to potential Native American students. WCIA3's Jared Farmer talked with Chancellor Jones. So what could this mean for Native American students on campus, Jared?
Well, Jennifer, this could mean a lot for both Native American students and the university. First, they are offering students to belong to any federally recognized tribe in the country the same rate of tuition as an in-state student. They're also focusing on strengthening their partnership with the tribes and nations who lived on the land before the university was built. They do this by finding better ways to represent Native American history and culture. As for the chief, the chancellor says they understand what the symbol means to the school's history, but found it more important to explore ways to truly embrace Native culture beyond just a mascot.
And I can't do anything about those that want to continue to hold on to that legacy, but I have a responsibility for the institution's perspective on this. And our perspective is to truly honor Native American heritage and culture.
Additionally, the university is looking to revamp its curriculum for American Indian Studies by hiring new professors as well as coordinating with a new student council to come up with different traditions for the student body. That is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the university's plans over the next 3 years. We'll have a full list of all the university's objectives up on our website. Jennifer?
All right, Jared, thank you for that. A committee is still debating whether or not to change the name of a hall at EIU, but now it could shift what that change would be. They're talking about Douglas Hall. The concern is Stephen Douglas was a slave owner. However, the building sits next to Lincoln Hall, and the two were named to commemorate the Lincoln-Douglas debates that took place in Charleston. Now, the university's president is asking the committee to also decide if the hall should still commemorate those debates or if it should be named for something else.
Marley, we've got another change to the ILLINI schedule.
Yeah, it's that year, you know, you never know when COVID is going to strike, really, and today it seemed to affect the Illinois men's basketball team. Another game off the schedule. They will not play tomorrow. We got that update coming up next.
on the official television station of Illini Sports. This is WCIA 3 Sports and your Illini Nation.
One game is already off the schedule for Illinois basketball. They won't be playing UT Martin tomorrow. The Skyhawks have pulled out of the game due to positive COVID tests within the program. Head coach Brad Underwood said it's too short notice to bring in another opponent just the day before tip-off, and they don't want a team to come in that isn't up to par with the Big Ten's testing standards.
We knew there would be some hiccups along the way, and realistically, this will not be the last one. So we'll move forward. Disappointed that we don't get a play, but again, that's this season and some of the challenges that come with that.
Exploring the option of adding another conference game to reach the maximum number of games. Their next one on the schedule is Duke. They play them on Tuesday in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Now, if 2020 has taught us anything, it's that things can change on a whim's notice. Just ask Brandon Peters. He'll be playing in his first home game of the season tomorrow. He missed the first two after testing positive for COVID-19, and then the Ohio State game got canceled. So far, he's been just one of the two positive tests on the team, and he said that the U of I saliva test could have helped avoid a major outbreak within the program.
When I tested positive on the Thursday, and I went back the next day and did the swab, I was actually negative. I was negative both days on the swab when I had tested positive for the saliva. So I think if it was never for the saliva, I would have been positive, playing a football game.
Now, the senior class will celebrate their senior day tomorrow when they take on the number 24 Hawkeyes. It might not actually be their last game at Memorial Stadium, though. The NCAA is granting all athletes an extra year of eligibility. Most guys we've talked to said they haven't really given next season much thought, but this is still a significant game for the seniors and Lovie Smith's first recruiting class.
There's some things that we haven't accomplished. This group has not accomplished. Our next two opponents we haven't beaten in our time together here. So this week it'll be neat to acknowledge them, but the way we can really send them off the right way is to get them their first win against Iowa.
Now the Hawkeyes have a 4-game win streak over the Illini. Kickoff is at 2:30 at Memorial Stadium. It's also their homecoming game, and that's when they wear those gray uniforms. Do you guys remember what happened last time when they wore those?
Remind us.
It was the win against Wisconsin, so maybe that brings a little good luck.
Nice. All right, thank you so much. Toys for Tots has been making it a Merry Christmas for years. Why COVID-19 is making this year's process so much harder.
Plus, looking to get out of the house and see some lights tonight?
Yes. Just looking to get out of the house.
Well, I was trying to hear them. Well, there is just the place, and we're headed there live in just a moment.
So we're kicking off a new segment here tonight. We're calling it Friday Night Christmas Lights. And so each week we're going to go out and find somebody that's got a nice Christmas light display and go feature it. Now you can send in some pictures or video of your home if you've got it via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or through our apps. And then we're going to go out and then feature it with our Sky 3 drone. Now, that is just a tease to tell you that we have a display that we're going to be showing here in the second half hour. So stick around and we'll show you someone's Clark W. Griswold light display. So stay tuned.
All right. Oh, I like this idea. Okay, that's a bright spot. So is this. Let's get to it. We've got it from Urbana. Wrestler Construction and Contracting donated 120 cupcakes to the Cunningham Children's Home. The staff wanted to spread some much-needed holiday cheer to the children and staff there. A sweet way of sending out happy holiday and season's greetings. Definitely. And we want to see your pictures and videos, more stuff like that. Email us, send them on Facebook. We have a post on our page for you to share what you are seeing.
Many are struggling to make ends meet this holiday season. How one community is pulling together to get them through it. Plus, want to see your name in lights, or you can get a marquee holiday gift this year. Those stories and more after the break.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6:30.
Champaign County Toys for Tots gives out thousands of toys to children. You can see that we have a lot of toys here right now.
That's right, many like the ones right here. But this year, providing support for families has been a more difficult task because of COVID-19. They just don't have as many people to help. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays is with us. So what has the need been like this year, Jamie?
Jennifer, they're noticing more families need toys. The director says he's doing everything he can to find ways to provide.
We don't just give a toy at Christmas time. It's not just a toy. It's what that toy represents. It's what that toy means. It's hope.
The Champaign County Toys for Tots director says providing that for families has been tough. Each year they collect toys for children, but there have been some obstacles along the way.
With COVID, we have been impacted significantly on all fronts.
They normally have about 150 drop-off locations, but this year they were only able to have about 11 or 12 places with boxes.
With the inability for us to be able to have businesses open, and the traffic in those areas, we don't have the ability to collect toys in there.
Last year, they gave out over 36,000 toys and helped over 4,800 children. The Salvation Army says now there's a greater need for help.
Really higher numbers, so it's really unprecedented. Many families, unfortunately, have been impacted in that they've had to choose between paying bills, paying rent, versus having to buy presents for their children this year.
We also have the problem that there are less people able to donate because the business owners that had their businesses impacted are no longer able to give because the revenue streams have been cut significantly.
But they plan to find a way to help families.
One way or another, we're going to find a way to be able to take care of Christmas for all those kids that really, really need it here in Champaign County.
In Champaign, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader. They're hoping people who can help will support. There are several ways for people to donate or drop off a toy. You can go to our website for more information on how to give. Back to you, Jennifer.
Jamie, thank you so much. One of the ways, of course, coming here, we're hosting our annual Toys for Tots Drive. And I want to say this just showed up on our set, and it's a good reminder that it's not just toys for the little ones, right? You also got to remember we're collecting for kids up to 12 years old. So something like this, a 12-year-old would really like. So think about those older kids as well. Here's the information if we want to put that up right now. For our toy drive, it's going to run from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're also going to be at the Danville Crossroads Christian Church there in Danville as well.
A woman in Broadlands is helping her community have the best Christmas they can. Pam Probst organized a drive and is collecting whatever people say they need. She says she posted in a Facebook group asking if anyone needs help for Christmas. She's collected these clothes and coats to help out. On top of that, she also got a gift card for a woman asking for help with groceries. She says it makes it worth it when she sees the looks on kids' faces when they open their gifts. And get this, the Fisher Theater in Danville is giving people a chance to display messages on its marquee. With the theater closed because of COVID-19 restrictions, it's letting people rent the marquee for a day or entire week. Staff say you can use the marquee to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, stage it for a photo shoot, or propose to that special someone. It's a way to support the theater during difficult times. And we have new information on the future of a movie theater. Savoy 16 in Savoy will be opening again under new ownership. It's now owned by Phoenix Theaters Entertainment. Savoy 16 used to be owned by Goodrich Quality Theaters, but the company filed for bankruptcy in February. No word yet on an exact opening date.
The holiday season is here, even with the coronavirus. There are places to go, and we have a few of them for you.
And that includes this neighborhood display where you can visit the Willowdale Winter Wonderland.
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
COVID-19 has many communities rethinking holiday events.
And in some cases, whole neighborhoods. In St. Joseph, there's the Willowdale Winter Wonderland. It's a 3-block area that's doing its part to spread holiday cheer. Starting tonight, you can drive through the neighborhood, which is surrounded by corn and bean fields. Dozens of homes are decorated, and some say Santa may be making an appearance. The organizer of the light show says COVID-19 makes this year more important.
And if you're going to be out and about tonight, there's a couple of other holiday events you can hit. At 7 o'clock, Philo will hold its first ever Christmas parade. Social distancing is a must. The route runs through downtown. And just underway in Coles County, it's Celebrate Downtown Mattoon. They're holding a light-up parade on Broadway Avenue. There will be music and vendors. Businesses will stay open until 8 o'clock for holiday shopping.
What happens after a full moon? We've got the meaning behind what's called a waning gibbous.
Thought there'd be a werewolf out. That's what you were. I thought that was
We'll
the answer
see.
to that.
We'll find out.
Plus, we want to see your best holiday light display. Kevin's back to show us this week's Friday night Christmas lights.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
Great Christmas light displays all across Central Illinois. We wanted to start a new thing. We call it our Friday Night Christmas Lights. So each week we're going to feature somebody's home light display. Go out with our Sky 3 drone. You all know I love, finding an excuse to go fly the drone. So we have found our first one for this week. Say hello. And I've got this frozen here because I want you to take note of the leg lamp. That's up there, of course. So let's take a look here and see what we've got. This are the Thompsons in Tolono. So shout out to Tolono there. As you can see, quite the light display there. I'm sure that's taken just a little bit of time to collect over the years. But that's the aerial view, and that's the cool shot you can get from above. Is kind of like up top and showing it there, because we can all see it here from the ground, but those up top shots are pretty good as well. But I always wonder how long it takes some of these people to get out and really do this. But so again, with this, we're going to be featuring this every Friday night. And so if you've got some incredible light displays here, and I know there's a lot of them out there, send them over to us, let us know, and then we'll pick one out and feature it, and I'll go out and use the old drone and get some cool shots. just like that.
It's hard to top. This is incredible.
It's a cool view, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes it fun. And so again, we want you to send us your light displays. You can do it via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, our WCA3 apps, and then we'll feature them here on Friday nights. So there you go. A little fun on a Friday night for you. And I know some of you are going, honey, we're going shopping. We're adding to the display.
Gotta get the drone to my house.
Got to get the drone up there, that's for sure. All right, so it's nice out there. We're going to see a nice weekend. Temperatures here are into the mid-30s right now, and it's going to get a little cooler. We're going to be heading back down to the mid-20s for overnight lows. Do some water towers here. We'll take you to Mansfield, a high around 42 degrees, looking pretty good in places like Donovan as well. We're forecasting those highs into the lower 40s. So, Saturday, okay, Sunday as well, but we may actually see a few flurries. We are forecasting flurries for Sunday, but it's not going to be anything too bad. I mean, that's the best that we've got for any precipitation is this little blip that shows up on our future track here for some precipitation. So, dry forecast for any of those deliveries that may be, up there on your porches. We're not worried about any of that here anytime soon. The next major weather maker doesn't get in here until we hit next weekend. So we don't have any precipitation in the forecast except for those flurries, if you want to count those on Sunday. 26 tonight and 42 tomorrow, mostly sunny with slightly cooler conditions here. And a look at your 7-day forecast will show, again, those flurries. Look at these warmer temperatures. We've got a 53 in there coming up here on Thursday as well. I want to show you quickly here. Take a look at this picture. Great week to get shots of the moon out there. Joe sent us this from last night. It was a full moon on Tuesday, but last night we had about an 85% moon, which is called a waning gibbous phase, and that is it's getting smaller. Gibbous refers to the shape, which is less than full circle of a full moon, and you can see it through the trees there. So there you go. Great shot. Thanks for sending that over to us, guys. Okay, that was a lot right there.
Okay, can I add to the whole Christmas lights thing?
Please.
On my Facebook page, I asked for some ideas because we want to go find some lights, something to do. A slew of ideas. So if you're looking for Christmas light displays, go to my Facebook page.
There you go.
There's a lot of them. All right, believe it or not, Illinois was the first place coal was discovered by Europeans in North America.
But by the late 1900s, the industry was dwindling. What was it like in its heyday? We're headed to the vault to find out.
This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
Coal mining provided good jobs for people in central Illinois for more than 80 years.
By the 1960s and 70s, some mines ran dry. Others became too expensive to operate. But the legends of the dangers of the mines lived on. Our Matt Metcalf has more from the vault.
If you're not from here, you don't think of Illinois as coal country, but it was for decades. What was it like to work in the mines? Channel 3's Jack Margraves spoke with a man who experienced it and asked him if the old Lovington mine could ever be reopened. It's From the Vault, 1968.
At one time, this old mine was the mainstay of the people of Lovington. About 300 miners labored here during the day for what then was a pretty good salary. Of those 300, only about 4 are left in this area, 4 of the original 300 miners. One of them is Molly Coteau. Did this mine produce a pretty good grade of coal?
Oh, yes. Best steam coal there ever was. That's what they all said, the railroad.
Was it dirty underneath there? Did you have a lot of trouble?
There's dirt in it, but you're supposed to clean it out before you load it. If you didn't clean it out, why, get too much dirt in it, they'd dock you at the top and 50 cents, sometime $1. That all depends how much dirt you had in.
The old mine was closed permanently in 1924. The people of Lovington long ago, like Molly, turned to other occupations to make their living. One entrance to the mine is less than a half mile from here, but it's nearly hidden now, and you can drive by without ever seeing it. Coal miners then, as now, face dangers. One of several explosions at the old Lovington mine killed 2 mine inspectors.
Well, that was early in the morning, doing their examination. They got killed because they were careless. They went in there with open light when they're supposed to use a safety lamp.
What were they looking for when they went in?
Gas. That's what they go in there for. That's what they're for.
And they used an open light?
Absolutely. They're supposed to use a gas light and check. And they went over open light. If there's any gas in there, you're going to find it.
It's safe to assume that of the miners who worked this old mine, most of them would rather forget that it's still here. About the only thing they care to remember is that it represented a hard day's work for not very much pay. This is Jack Margraves in Lovington.
Other major mines also operated in Fairbury, Streeter, Bloomington, Assumption, Verdon, Westville, Taylorville, and elsewhere. The only major active mine in central Illinois today is in Logan County near Elkhart. From the Vault, I'm Matt Metcalf.
And join Matt for a full half hour of the memorable stories of yesteryear. From the Vault airs Sunday mornings at 9 on X49.
We'll have a look at what's making headlines in central Illinois next.
And that includes the chancellor at the U of I and his plan to address Native American imagery on campus.
This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
Here's a look at the top local stories of the day. A man from Champaign was in court this afternoon after leading Champaign County Sheriff's deputies on a chase. They say it started in Thomasboro and ended in Champaign on North Prospect. 27-year-old Lawrence Lewis is accused of shooting from his vehicle before crashing. Deputies recovered an AR-15 rifle, handgun, and drum magazine from his car.
A Decatur man is dead after a crash. It happened last night just west of Monticello on I-72. State police say the 42-year-old went off the road and flipped. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. His name has not been released.
The University of Illinois hasn't had the chief since it was retired in 2007. Today, Chancellor Robert Jones released an implementation plan to address issues related to the symbol and move away from the imagery. The plan is also designed to open the university's arms to potential Native American students.
Coming up, we're going to let you know what we're working on for our 10 o'clock newscast.
Plus, firefighters were called after neighbors heard something coming from underground. We'll show you the heartwarming discovery. The state's Tier 3 restrictions means no indoor dining at restaurants.
Coming up tonight at 10, which popular spot in one city was shut down for keeping indoor dining open?
Sunshine around here for your weekend, especially Saturday. Sunday, a few more clouds, though, maybe a couple of flurries. And then we're looking at a pretty nice week next week with warming temperatures as we head into the lower 50s for highs. And, of course, that 53 on our Toys for Tots Drive Day.
All right, thank you.
We are always looking for some good news here.
And we've got a story to end our newscast with a very uplifting feeling. We're going to head all the way to Turkey. People in one neighborhood heard meowing from what seemed to be underground. Firefighters arrived and determined it was a cat trapped in an electrical cable. After the use of thermal cameras and some digging, the feline was pulled to safety. Sweet thing, the cat is in good health after the rescue.
There you go. Very nicely done.
So cute. Love the use of technology. Getting the job done.
All right. We have more news tonight at 9 and 10.
We'll see you then. Good night. Have a good weekend, everyone.